The way I figure out how my carcass should sit is I want it to sit internally between here and here. Okay, so the way I do that, I'm going to inspect it to see what the measurement is from here to here. Now I want to go the diagonal, so the pointy edge, which is there, and that equals 199.07. Let's see if we can try and find a number that might be a little bit better rounded. We go there and there. Okay, that's 172.401. So how about we just do that original dimension, which is from here to here, 199.07. So we'll just write that down, 199.072. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up a new design because we're going to be making our insert now. Now we want to always do new designs. We're going to save this as insert. Save. What I want to do is I'll create sketch and I'll click on this x-axis again. I'll go create. I'm going to go polygon. I'm going to choose the same one as I chose before, inscribed polygon, which is right here, and I have my measurement, which is going to the point. Now my point was 199.07 across all of them. So across the whole diameter. Now I want to find the radius. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go 199.072 divided by 2, okay? Because that's how you find the radius. So this is going to equal 99.536. Enter. And this will fit perfectly inside my carcass. What I want to do next is, because I've still got this tab open here, I want to figure out how high I need to extrude it. I'll finish my sketch. Okay, so I've now got this 2D object. I'll go back to the carcass I created and I'll choose the inspect, which is the measure tool, and I'll measure from here to here, and that equals 35, as I can see there, and I can also see it there. So these two internal edges. Just click escape and I'll go insert. I'll click on my polygon again and I'll press E, okay, as that is the shortcut to extrude, or I just click on this button right here. If I can't find that button, I go to create and then I'll find it right there. And I'm going to go, because I want to add on material, okay, I'm not going to do a minus sign, I'm just going to be all positive and I'm going to do 35. And I have that right there. What I want to do next is I want to start trying to fit my components in, because if I put this in right now, my components would be sticking out the top. So I want to make sure I can start taking away, subtracting material, so my components will fit really nicely. So I'll go to my show data panel, which is the 9 dots there. I want to go home and I want to click on that Year 11 Design and Technology page that's been shared with you. And I want to open the microchip first, and then I'll open the lithium battery as well. So I'll open these two components, and the way this design is going to be set up is so they can both sit next to each other. Now when you see these components, you'll see that the lithium battery and the microchip connect. So in your models, when you actually make your own, which is going to be different, you need to have a real think about when you're doing the prototype, how they should sit together. I'm just going to wait for these to load. And now we've got them loaded, we've got our two components, and what we want to do, we want to measure both of these, the lithium battery and the microchip, so they fit nicely in our insert. And we basically want our insert to be on a flush side, which will really help. So what I'll do is I'll go microchip and I just want to measure from here to here, and I want to measure my width as well. The whole point that we want it to be on the edge is because this is the on-off switch and this is one of our aux jacks, okay, to plug in for our micro USB. So these need to be exposed and close to the shelf. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to inspect, and I'm going to go from here to here, and that's 53. Okay, so my width from the edge needs to be at least 53. And now I'm going to check my lithium battery. Let's see what this is. Okay, that's 50.50. So I want it to be at least 53 so it can fit both components. I'm going to click on my insert and I'm going to click on this edge because I'm thinking it'll go on this edge. What I will do next is I'll do create sketch. I've got my edge right here and I can use an offset tool. So I can offset the line. And I can say offset 53. Okay, however, see how it's gone away from the material? I want it to go into the material. So I go minus 53. And I have that line right there, which has been offset 53 away. So currently, as it stands, that's 53. Therefore, my microchip, which is also 53, is going to fit nice and snug in there. Go back to my insert once more. Now, if we want a bit more room, we can just press the X key there. What I want to do next is I want to finish off this line and I want to finish off this shape. So if we have a look and it's blue right here, so if I go off, that means it's not square, and see how it's 98.5 degrees right here. Okay, it's 90 right there, so it's all blue, and I'll take it all the way down to this edge where that square is, and I'll click. I'll do the same thing here, all the way down to the edge, and I'll click. Now currently, if I was to subtract material, okay, which I can, however, I want to create like a wall around this. So the way I can create a wall, and I don't want the wall to be too thick, I only want it to be about 3 mils. Okay, so click on this, and what we can do, we might try making the wall just a little bit after I've extruded. Go finish, and I want to extrude this down a little bit. So the way I find out how much I extrude it down is by going towards our components once more and figuring out how thick each component is. So I go inspect, that's 10 mils thick. And I'll look at my microchip, let's see how high these are. That's my tallest, and that's 10 too. So how about I make it a little bit higher just in case, and I'll make it say 11. So that means this is if this is the top, this is going to be flush with the top where the speakers are. Therefore, I need to extrude and take away some material. So I go E minus, let's say minus 12 to give it a little bit of wiggle room, just in case, minus 12. Therefore, my components can sit nice and snugly in here. What I want to do next is I'm going to go here and I want to subtract all of this material behind. Now, the way I do that is I want to create a bit of a boulder, and I don't want to subtract all of it, okay, I just want to subtract some of it. So I've turned on this right here as construction lines. So construction lines are basically lines that don't exist. Go 5 mils, because I want to create a little bit of an edge there. I'm going to go 5 minus 5. Now I've got this nice line. What we want to do next is these are going to be some construction lines that we're going to use throughout this process. However, first I want to choose our line tool. I want to turn the construction lines off and I want to finish these lines right here. I'm going to pull this line all the way through, it's 90 degrees. And I want to pull it all the way through here, 90 degrees. And I'm going to go from this corner again. Okay, like so. Now, I just want to scroll in to see that it's nice there, perfect. Scroll in to see that it's nice there, perfect. And what I will do next is I'm going to subtract all this material behind because I want these speakers to fit nice and snugly behind. However, I may not just do that just yet because I want everything to sit nice and flush. So what I want to do is figure out how much material I need to take away. Is I need to figure out how thick my material for my speakers is. So if I open up my speakers, I'll say load, and just remember there needs to be 2 speakers. And this is the speaker right here. Now we've got some screw holes and we want to be able to screw it in or glue it in. with a little bit of glue, but screwing is a lot better because that way we can be taking it out. So this component needs to fit nice and snugly into the shelled area, and then this is going to fit nice in there too. So we need to ensure that this material is below the surface area, just like we've got in the exemplar right here. So I turn off this one, and we have all of our different components which are sitting nice and snug in there. So see how we've taken the material away, just like in that one. So if we have a look, we've taken some material away, 10 mils. So we'll look at our speaker once again. Here to here. Okay, that's 30 going down there. Okay, because it's not straight, we've got 12 mil hole. So just like in the practice one, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the insert. I'm going to click on this area right here. I'm just going to finish my sketch. I've got my construction lines. Construction lines don't really mean anything. I want to get another proper good look at this. And I'm going to go E, which means extrude. I'm going to minus 10. Okay, so just so it sits a little bit lower, and so we can actually start getting a think about where these speakers are going to sit. Now I want to ensure that the speakers are going to sit nice and close to this edge. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to start marking out where they can go. So I want to try and make the middle of the speaker. So I'm going to say this is the middle of the speaker, and I want to, oh, that's going to be a parallel edge with my parallel component right there. So I need to figure out how I can fit it there. So I'm going to create a new sketch. I'm going to go line tool, and I'm going to open my sketch palette and turn on construction lines. Now see how if I just go over here and it's an X, that means it's the center. Okay, X in the triangle, the two shapes, that means I found the center. If I just go down and it's still the blue X, that means I'm on the line. If it is like the square and the kind of, I guess, crosshairs, as you call it, okay, there's not on nothing. So I want to go to the X, and I'm just going to pull this in, okay, just a little bit, just like so. I'm not going to click it yet, and I'll show you why. I'm just going to press escape, just find the center. What I want to do is I'll go back to the speaker, and I'm going to inspect it, how far it is across. I'll go find the other edge. Okay, if we have a look at it across, it is 66 millimeters across. So what we want to do, that's 66, and it is a square object, so it should be 66 on both. Okay, it's not right on the edge. Okay, so we're going to go 66, as that would be the most common measurement. Go back to my insert. So we're going to halve that because I just want to find the middle where the datum is going to sit and where the center of this circle area is going to sit. So we'll go here, insert, click on the line, construction line, we've found the center, and I'm going to go in 33 millimeters as that's half of 66. I want to do the same thing over this side. We'll find the center, and we'll go in. I'm going in at a 30-degree angle. And I'll go in like so. What I want to do next is I want to start figuring out how to do these circles. So here's another tool we can use. So let's figure out the radius first. So that has a diameter of 3,9, so 39. So we want to find half of 39. Put my calculator, 3,9 divided by 2, that equals 19.5. I'll go back to my insert. I'm going to click on the circle diameter, and now we have lots of different circle diameters to use. We want to use the 2-point circle diameter, as this will help me. Now see how it has the blue line? That means we're doing it straight. Okay. And it clicks. It should automatically click so it's on the same line. Okay, so we've got that right there. And see how it's a darker blue line when it's straight. Now we've got our, we actually don't need to find our diameter with our radius with this one, which is great. So I'm just going to type in 39. But if I do it like this, what could potentially happen is I'm no longer in the center. So this circle doesn't make sense. So I go back and I'll select again, and we're going to do it from the center. So I've got my center tool and I need my diameter here, 19.5. I go like so. I'm going to do the same thing over this side. Now if we have a look, that's actually only diameter. So let's go back and do that one again. So I can double click. Okay, so this is a little shortcut. We type in our 39 there. And see how that allows for us to do the two circles. Now I want you to click on that circle and then hold shift and click on this one, and I'm going to go construction lines, and I turn them off. Now they are solid circles. What I want to do next is I want to ensure that our speaker is sitting nice and snug. So this whole component is actually going to go all the way down to there, and it's going to taper off. So I want to have this sitting just above the surface. So I'm going to create another circle. Outside this, so from the center right here. So I'm going to click on the center tool, and it needs to be 65. 65. I have my construction lines on, let's turn them off, and I'm going to go enter. And do the same thing over here. 65. Enter. Now it should be just going across the line, which is what we want. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to start shelling out these shapes. So I'm going to go finish. We want to take away some material here. So we need to ensure that our speaker is at the same height as this. So that's been 10 mils off. So the way we figure that out, got speaker, we go from here, we've got our height right now. So because you should have your speaker pretty much in front of you, you're just going to measure the height of it. So we have a look, and your speaker is actually 27 millimeters high, which is great. So that means, and we're just going to measure this component right now from here to here, okay, which is 1250. So I've got 23 minus, 27, sorry, my bad. 27 minus 1250. And we'll have a look at what that equals. 27 minus 1250. Okay, equals 14.5 is how much I need to go down for the first little bit. Okay, so the first one will go down. Now let's start taking away some material here. So what we'll do first is we will take this material down, and we'll hold shift and go here. I'm going to take these ones down by 10 because I want to actually go down by 22, as I want 5 mils coming up, as it'll help for it to stay in line with this section right here. So I'm going to go, I'm thinking we should have a little bit of space. I'll extrude, I'll minus this material, and I'll go 10. Now I have these in here and here, and I want to go extrude again, minus, go down by 22 for these ones. So my speakers should be sitting nicely in there. And let's just have a look how they sit. So I can actually insert it into my current drawing. We have our shell, we have our insert right here. We just want to do some Y, where our Y's are going to go. Now obviously we've turned off our elements right here. We want to create a new sketch so we can see where we're going. We want to do some lines because we want to extrude some material. I'm going to connect the lines there, and we know that it's going to be connecting here. So I'm just going to do a line like so, and I'll do a line right here. So I won't make the channel too big. And I'm going to go finish sketch so I can see them. I'm going to click on this, but before I do that, I want to have it the same depth as our second slope right there. So, and I know that's going to be 10 mils from there to there. Okay, from there to there, as that's what we did earlier. Let's see if we can get it going. 10 mils. And I'm going to extrude this area, E. I'm going to minus 10. And I can even see it's the same depth. Right, so However, we still need to take a little bit more material off to be able to get into where that micro bit's going to be. Microchip. So I'm going to create sketch, and I'm going to click on the area that I want. Now I can't see it. So I'm going to use the square, I'm going to pivot up, choose my line tool again, I'm going to extend that line up, see how it's 90 degrees. I'm going to extend it up, see how it's 180 because we're going up. That's the other side. I don't want, there we go. Insert. Now I've got this little section right here I can take away, or these ones. I want to take away this middle one. I'm going to do the shortcut and I'm going to press E, and I'm going to go minus because I'm taking away that material, and I want to go all the way through. I can just drag that arrow and I have that little alcove right there. Okay, to take away that material. That's it's going to go up. So I've actually gone into that material right there, which I don't want to do, so I can go exit. Maybe I just want to take away this material. There we go, it's 5 mils. So let's go around to that edge right there and take away this. I don't need to create a sketch. I'm going to go extrude. I'm going to go -5, as that's going to be perfect with that little edge. What I'll do next is I will save, and I'm going to turn on the speaker, the micros, and the lithium. They all fit nicely, right, like so. It will all come in and fits nicely, and I will save.